Hello. The lens is gonna make a little noise that's just focusing. Hopefully it's not annoying. So, I'm going to go over the total cost of my tiny house. I'll do it in different sections. I might put it on as I talk. Whatever's easiest editing, I don't know. I'll do like the total list maybe at the end. So the first list will be everything I need to make this place function. So the house itself was $5,000. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. It was just a building, like a shed. $250 to haul it. It was half an hour away. $2,559 for the electrical. We ran the wiring underground, so that cost quite a bit. The cable was like really big cable. We ran it from here to the warehouse, which was like 30 feet. I thought it was a lot for this size house, but my parents said it was pretty good because, well, it was the underground cable that cost the most. $60 for bricks and stones. That's what the house is sitting on. $50 for ceiling foam, which was like the little plastic stuff I put in for like a vent type thing. That's on one of my building videos. $234 for insulation. $622 for plywood, but I only used $300 worth. So I got a whole pallet of plywood from this liquidation store. It was all cut in like strips. So I got the whole pallet because it was $622 for the pallet, and it would have been, we figured out, like $2,000 and some dollars. I have the exact amount right now, for a brand new. So I'm going to use, well, I just used it on the ceiling, but I'm going to use the rest of it for shelves and to kind of enclose the shower bucket in, and my sink vanity. $10 for caulking, glue, $420 for the trenches. So we dug a trench from here to the warehouse, which is 30 feet for the cable. A trench from here to my grandparents' house for the water, and then just like one scoop for the septic because it's like right outside here. And $14 for pipe, $143 for a toilet. We waited until they went on sale. It was $125 on sale, and then with tax it was $143. $15 for shower drain. $300 for shower kit. So I want to put plastic on the walls. I wanted like that fake. You used to be able to get, just like last year, you used to be able to get this like fake tile, like a sheet of like fake tile, and you just glue it to the wall. But I guess you can't get it anymore. So I had to get a shower kit, and the reason why I'm not using the base of it is because it sticks out too far past my doorway, so I'm going to use the galvanized bucket. Where was I at? $138 for the shower head and the handle. $56 for heat tape. $268 for the 2-inch styrofoam to bank around the house. We doubled it up on the side where all the water is. We put 4 inches of styrofoam on that side, and then styrofoam all around the pipe coming up like out of the ground into the house, and the heat tape on that too. And then we have steel over the styrofoam. The steel we got for free. It was just off of barns that were being torn down. $18 for fittings for plumbing. $20 for my sink drain. I got a different one. It came with this drain. Like the push one. But I think all the push ones have like a hole in it here. But the plumber said that those leak. So I got a new one. It was $20. And $1,000 for the plumbing. It was my dad's friend who did it, and my dad helped him. And my grandfather and I did the plumbing in the basement. So I kind of saved on like the cost of it there. And my heaters, $340. And I'll put a picture of them in here. They're Amaze heaters. they're just like, it's like a heavy, like, I don't know if it's cement, I don't know what it's made out of, but there's like wires in it, and the wires heat up, and I do feel like heat coming off of them, but when they aren't really working, like, they work in the spring and fall, and during the daytime it's nice, but it drops down so quick here, like, the other night it was 0, but it said it felt like -7 with like the wind chill and stuff. And I woke up in the middle of the night here, and it was +15 inside. And it was only 0. So it's not even cold yet. And I had the heaters both cranked at 30. And it's only like +15 in here at nighttime. So hopefully I'm going to be getting my wood stove. I did end up getting a wood stove. One of those cubic minis. There's the cub and then the bear or something, or like the mama bear. They have a smaller one and a bigger one, but even the big one's like only this big, right? So the smaller one's for 100 to 200 square feet, and the bigger one's for 2 to 4. And this house is only 192 square feet. But it said the small one was for spring and fall, and for like campers and vans. So I'm like, I might as well get the big one, because that's what happened with this. Like, I got these heaters, and they're, like, it's just not powerful enough. So I'll just get the big stove and have, like, a small fire, instead of a small stove and a big fire, and, like, smoking myself out. So, I was actually talking to someone who had a tiny house, and they have the small cubic mini, and their tiny house is bigger than this, and they said it was, like, cooking them out. It was pretty hot. And they only burned 2 wheelbarrows full of wood. So with the big one, I'm just going to burn like a little block a night, probably. I didn't get it yet. It's supposed to be coming sometime this week. Hopefully before it gets too cold. So the wood stove, which I wish they did it in kits, because this stove costs as much as a big stove. It was $1,970. And because the wood stove itself, well, this is on sale. Like, the wood stove was $700 on sale, and then I got the stand that it goes on, which is like cast iron, and then I had like a heat shield for the stove behind it. But then I had to get another heat shield for like behind the flue. That was like $70. And then I had to get the flue itself, and then the exit pipe, which is an insulated flue. And I think that was it, but everything, like, it was all separate. So, yeah, $1,970. And I was thinking I did look at other heaters. I was talking to other people who had tiny houses, and they had like a convect air heater, and it was just like a little tiny heat pump. It was like this big. And it had like a fan, right? Like, that's what I need. Like, something with a fan to kick out all that heat at night. But it ran on 240, and this house is only hooked up for 110. And it seemed like all the heaters I looked up that were like forced air, they all ran on 240. So it was either spend $500 to $1,000 rewiring this, or adding in 240, and then have to buy a new heater, which was like $300 to $600. Like, the little convect air ones were like $600. And have the power go out and my pipes bust anyways, and then have to spend $1,000 replumbing it. Or spend $2,000 and just put a wood stove in, and then I don't gotta worry about it. So either way, I was spending $2,000. This way is a lot less misery. And I can pay in installments and stuff, so that was good. So yeah, I'm going to keep these heaters in though. I'm going to use them during the day, and in the spring and fall, I think they'll be nice, and I'll just have the wood stove for at night. Because the problem was, it's just these, like, they just can't kick out heat fast enough. Like, it just drops down too quick at night. So, altogether, all the stuff I just listed, which was stuff I needed for this place to function, was $12,825. Now the interior was $90 on paint and primer, $70 on oil paint, $37 for my bathroom lights, $62 for these lights. It was 3 in a pack, but I only used 2. $224 for the flooring. I still have lots of flooring left over. I'm going to put in my van. And then $340 for the heaters. I think I already said that. $380 for the water heater. I never used it in my shower yet. I still have to finish my shower. But for the sink, it gets pretty hot. $70 for my bathroom sink. I was gonna use my blue, like, painted sink, but there was a crack right where the tap went, and it was kind of too big for the bathroom, so I got this mini one. I'll put in a picture of it here. It's so freaking cute. $200 for my kitchen bar sink, and it came with like a little metal rack in it, and I love it. And it's actually, it feels really big. Like, it's deep. It's a deep sink, so it's perfect. I find it's actually really big. $110 for my taps, so it was $50 for the bathroom one and $60 for the kitchen. And $44 for light covers and bulbs. So for my lights in like the kitchen here, the little base that like screws into the ceiling, it was too freaking small. Like they had to cut a hole for the wires, right? And the base of the light like was inside the hole, like it wasn't covering it. So that's probably why they were on sale. So I had to go to Ken and buy like new bases for them, and they were like $20 each. So that kind of sucked. It was $1,627 for that stuff. And then my deck, it's 12 feet by 7. So it's the whole length of the house and then 7 feet out. It was $220 for the lumber. I got it half price, which was so lucky. We went to Home Hardware one day to get like stuff for plumbing, and they had all this pressure treated lumber in the parking lot. And I got all the 2x6s that were there. There's only like 6 left. And then I got, I don't know how many boards, but it was $220 for all of it. And then $58 for deck blocks, $89 for screws. I got them 20% off. I got like 2 big boxes, and they were 20% off. I only used 1 box. So altogether it was $367 for my deck. But, I mean, double that. That's what it would have been. I just got really lucky with it on sale. Now the decor, you can count this in or you don't have to. I'm going to count it in because I did get a lot of stuff on sale. $45 for my bathroom tiles. It would have been $86 brand new. I got them at the thrift store. $35 for my dresser that I painted. Yeah, it was just for the paint. $35 for the paint. $67 for shelf brackets, sink paint, which I didn't end up using that sink, and caulking, and then $50 for wood glue, Gorilla Tape, and screws, $12 for black spray paint, $52 for the counter paint, which was, so $52 for 2 cans of Varathane. Get the gallon bucket, because I did my counter, and then I was like, wait, I want shelves to match, and then I want 2 more big shelves to match, and I would have went through like 6 cans of that. And they're $25. It's $25 a can for Varathane. So I went with the gallon bucket, which is $90. And I painted my shelves with that. I did 3 coats on each side, and I still have like, you can't even notice that I used it. And then $34 for light switch covers and finish. I didn't even use the light switch covers. I have one on, but the other ones I know why they got rid of them. They just stick out too far and you can't put the plugs in. So it was $385 for decor. Now altogether, it was $15,204 for my tiny house, which is pretty good because you can't even get a car for that now. That works half decent. But keep in mind, I didn't put in a septic or a well or run power lines or poles or anything like that, and I didn't buy land. So this is just the house and the deck, and it's 12 by 16, so that's how much it costs for a house this size. So yeah, I'm going to do a video on how I saved and different tiny house ideas that I had. So yeah, hopefully this helps. You know, this is how much a building this size cost to turn into a tiny house. So just showing you can do it cheap. I did look at 2 tiny houses this past month that were being built here, and one was 8 by 24 or something, and they were selling it for $98,000. $15,000. And I was like, holy shit, like, I spent $15,000 on this one. Like I was just wondering, like, how can you make it that expensive when it's that size, you know? But they spent $6,000 on just the appliances. Like, they got the mini washer and dryer, like, stackable. So because it's such, which I did find that, like, to look for a small shower, like a camper shower, I couldn't find anything that size. And if you wanted, like, because it's, like, kind of custom sizes, it does cost just as much as, like, a regular size or more. Because it has to be, like, specially made. So, things like that, like, it does cost a bit more. But, like, I just got camper stuff, you know? But they had, like, a glass stove top and, like, another, like, separate little oven. And it was nice. But, like, it was a luxury, like, tiny house. Like, and, like, I just want to do this as cheap as I possibly could and still make it look nice. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed this video.